guys, welcome back. Sorry for the noise. We're back out in the woods today trying to get some of the wood we cut over the winter processed, a very small portion of which you can see in the background behind me here. And one of the guys has agreed to lend me his Husqvarna saw to try today. So this is my first time trying a Husqvarna saw, pretty exciting. And this is the 562 XP. So it's a 60cc saw, about, well, 58 point something, so we'll round it up. And pretty exciting. I've noticed a few differences right off the bat compared to the Stihl saws I've tried in the past. First off is it's much slimmer, so the design is more slender, I think. This saw is actually quite heavy though. It's about as heavy as the 462 I tried a few weeks ago for a saw that has 60 cc's versus the 462, which is a 70 cc saw. So it's less powerful for about the same weight. So if you remember, I had a really hard time getting the 462 started, and I did find it quite a bit heavy for me. So looking forward to seeing the comparison if this one starts up easier, being a little bit less powered, and if it handles as well, or if it handles similarly to the 462, being in the same weight. Other things I've noticed about this saw is I find that when you see this saw online in pictures, the bar looks like super chunky. But in actuality, it's a little bit slimmer than the Stihl bars, so that could be a plus. If you're felling trees, you can get your wedges in just a little bit sooner with a thinner bar. Otherwise, the chain break on this is actually much closer than with the Stihl saws. So look, I can reach it. So that's pretty cool, for me at least, for a small-handed person. Very nice advantage. It also has similar type fuel caps to the Stihl saws I've tried, which is the little, you don't need a tool to open these. I think they're quite similar to the Stihl ones. It's not really a cap, it's more of a plug still, which I didn't love, but I think these ones, it's easier to tell if they're in properly than with the Stihl ones. The Stihl ones you have to line up and lock in properly. But a good trick someone has suggested to me is to give them a tug to see if they're in right. So that's pretty neat for both the oil and the gas. Aside from that, it does have the captive nuts, which I really liked, and it also has a side chain tensioning screw, which I also really like, compared to my own little saw, which is the 170, which has the front tensioning screw. So that with that, you're always getting kind of snagged on the chain, but on the side it's definitely better. There are a few other differences when it comes to getting it started, which we're gonna actually do later. This one does have a decompression valve, you can see right up here, similar to the 261 and 462. Also, this one needs to be primed, which is not something I've ever experienced with a chainsaw before, but it's got this little bubble here on the side, which you need to push till it fills with gas. But otherwise, once that's done, it's similar to the others I've tried, where you put it on full choke, give it a few cranks, turn it down to half choke, pull it till it starts, and then give it a little bit of gas to get it onto idle. So pretty straightforward, some slight differences. Looking forward to seeing how it handles. So let's go get set up and get to it. Okay, so two things. First of all, you might have noticed that the saw was smoking kind of a lot, and it turns out that because the saw is fairly new for the first few tanks, the gas mix is a little richer, so the smoke was normal. Also, it was not cutting very well. Turns out it was not sharp. I thought it was, but it was not. So I was pushing really hard on the saw to get it through, so much so that I went straight through and very much into the dirt. So, whoopsie. Now it really needs to be sharpened. So I'm gonna go do that and then come back and give it another try. Alright, so I made a few cookies with the Husqvarna saw, and I have to say that once it was properly sharpened, it went really well. I really enjoyed it. It cut very smoothly and started up on the first try. Very easy to start as well, so another plus for me. I also really like that the chain brake is really within reach on this saw compared to others I've tried, so another big plus for small-handed people like me. And I also really like the slim design of it. It doesn't feel bulky at all. Even though it is quite a bit heavy for me, still same as the like the 462, just wouldn't feel comfortable handling this long term until I get much stronger. In the meantime, if I were inclined to carry such a heavy saw, I'd probably reach for the 462 and get 10 more cc's of power for the same weight. That being said, I did really enjoy this saw, and maybe I'll get to borrow it again and use it again someday. So really grateful I got the opportunity to try it, and hopefully you guys enjoyed watching me figure out the Husqvarna saw, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. Take care, guys. Bye.